everyone, welcome to Chalchitra Talks. My name is Vaani, and in this episode, I actually want to recommend to you a book by Oliver Sacks, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. I came across this book because of an Amazon recommendation, and when I ordered the book, I thought I was ordering a funny novel because of the title, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. But when I eventually received the book, I realized it's a collection of case studies of patients of Oliver Sacks. And the book has 4 different parts like losses, excesses, transporters, and the world of the simple. And each part deals with certain patients. The book opens up with the chapter that has been sold to you as the title of the book, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. And you are presented with a story of a music teacher who actually mistakes the hand of his wife for a hat because he suffers from visual agnosia. And when I was reading the book, I actually realized something that I still feel guilty about. When I bought the book, I thought I was going to enter into a world where a man has mistaken his wife for a hat and it's going to be a funny story. But when I actually started reading the whole book, I realized that there are certain aspects of people's lives that we actually, in passing, term as so funny and humorous, but we always fail to realize how important it might be for the other individual. The people who are presented to you in this book, they suffer from various diseases of the brain. And Oliver Sacks presents to you the individuality of each patient. And there is a particular paragraph in the introduction as well that I would like to read to you. The introduction is by Will Self, who writes, "At the core of Sacks, Oliver Sacks, there is, one feels, a deep reservoir of that quality. So hard to define, yet so often and so spaciously valorized, humanity." And when you read this book, you will realize this immediately because of how Oliver Sacks describes each of his patients. Will Self goes on to write, "It is his humanity and his desire to extend the human into these uncharted realms of experience that leads him towards a form of doctoring that's concerned, unjudging, unmoralistic. Towards this, and also towards a form of direct and concrete sympathy. The concrete, Sacks feels, is what's been abandoned by science in its pell-mell race towards the sort of abstractions beloved of theorists." This actually means that when other people write clinical case studies, you somehow lose the human side of the patient that you're presenting to the reader. And of course, if you're reading this book, one problem that you'll face will be medical jargon. There's a lot of medical jargon in the book. For that, you can always Google and use your dictionary. This collection of case studies is like none other because these are not just patients of a neuropsychologist. These are individuals who suffer with problem but still deserve your respect. I actually came across Oliver Sacks when I finished reading Insomniac City by Bill Hayes. It's about his relationship with New York and Oliver Sacks. And it was one of the most beautiful books that I had ever read in the longest time. It made me want to move to New York. And when I picked up The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, I was not expecting to go on such an emotional ride because you always know the fragility of your brain, of your mind, but you never really realize it until you read a book like this. And that's exactly why I want to recommend this book to you, to understand the human fragility. And this book in a way has helped me become a better individual. And if you end up reading this book, do let me know in the comment section below how you liked it. And I will be back with another recommendation for you in my next episode. But before I go, I want to tell you that we are very passionate about bringing the best of content to you. And if you like our work, you can support us on Patreon or join our YouTube community. We have categorized our patrons into 3 different categories: Goodfellas, Gladiators, Godfathers. We especially treat our Godfathers like one. There are exclusive WhatsApp groups dedicated to books, films, and music. And we'll add you to those groups and you'll meet like-minded individuals equally passionate about art. We also have one-on-one calls with our Godfathers. We present to them an idea before making it public, and we also have regular town halls with them. So do join our community, do support us on Patreon, and do become a Godfather. It would really help us sustain ourselves, and I will be back with another recommendation for you in the next episode.